Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie for those who don't know me, and I am exhausted. I'm so tired. Like, this is supposed to be like a Monday type episode, you know, when the week is just starting. This, like, we're trying to go from all of this to a weekend. It was just too much. Way too much going on. But anyways, we are reviewing Love Island All-Stars Season 3, Episode 23. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, hype up the video, and leave a comment down below. Oh my, we start in the morning. Sean and Lucinda are having a chat, and he is commending her for how he pied Sammy, which is not a surprise at all because they are both wind-ups.
You had every reason to pie Sammy. Little twin cherry, you're my little twin.
It was the sound of the pie for me. It was so forceful.
It's really like, now you're pushing me. You tried me once, now you've tried me twice. I don't think she's a nice person.
No,
I don't think she's real. We are not friends. We're not cool.
I literally wrote down, all right, Sammy, don't let this girl fool you again, please. Sammy. I don't even think we got 30 minutes into the episode before Sammy was already triggered by Lucinda again. I'm just like, oh my goodness. How do you keep falling for it? How do you keep getting duped by the same girl with the same tactics every single time? Sammy. Oh, like, don't get me wrong. I can understand how Lucinda, see, now I'm laughing like Lucinda. I understand how Lucinda's disposition can piss people off, but I'm like, it's so successful when it comes to Sammy every single time. Like, Sammy, please pay this girl dust. Scott says he wants to come to a decision at this point, right? There's a lot of ambiguity going on. He wants to hone in on who he wants to pursue. So he plans on talking to both Leanne and Cher throughout the day so that he can go to sleep with a bit more clarity. Unbeknownst to him, Leanne is at her wit's end. She's crying to the other girls about this entire situation.
I'm done with this whole situation.
No.
Fuck's sake.
What's on your mind?
Oh, it's Leanne. Oh, for fuck's sake. I have to figure out who else I fancy in here. Even the thought of that makes me wanna...
But yeah, that is Leanne crying for sure.
Are you laughing?
Have you spoke to Scott today, babe?
Fuck him, I'm not speaking to him.
I don't even have words for this situation anymore. I don't have words for this whole villa. So Leanne is saying the final straw for her was the fact that Scott brought up the matcha to the room. So again, I say, he's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't, because when he left the matcha in the fridge, he's being sly. When he brings it up, it's hostility, because she literally was like, I'm now feeling hostility. And I'm like, hostility? Oh my gosh. I don't know. It must have a different connotation in the UK than it does over here, because I'm lost on all of this. I am lost. But anyways, I think it might be hard for Leanne to admit that she fell for this guy more than she thought she would, quicker than she thought she would. And so she wants to be cool with being cool, but she's not cool with being cool. Literally, it's just that. And Scott, just tell the damn girl you over it, man. The previous episode, he was like, oh, I've lost my spark and I'm trying to get it back. Just say it's gone. Just say it's gone, because this back and forth is exhausting. Whitney is then trying to help Scott unscramble his brain, right? And she says, if I'm looking at the situation objectively, I do think that Cher is a better match because she has the ability to challenge you more. I agree. I do agree. I think that from what we've seen of Leanne, like I said, she just kind of lays for dead. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't see them really going far, to be honest. Even I think it was either 2 weeks ago or last week, I had said, when Scott is getting in these heated moments with people, is Leanne even going to be the type of person who's able to like back him or maybe call him out or stuff like that? I didn't think so then. So I'm not surprised that Whitney is saying what she's saying now. It makes complete sense to me. And on top of that too, from the beginning, Whitney wasn't really here for the connection to start. She was like, what was it, like finances or lifestyle or something. She just thought these two are going to be incompatible. So for her to say this now shouldn't be a shock to anybody. I kind of wish that she was helping fight for the connection with Leanne, but also I can understand why she's like, looking at it pragmatically, Cher would be a better option. She knows them both, like being Leanne and Scott. She knows them both. She's seen them both. Yeah. Leanne then tells Whitney that she's going to pursue Yemen, or like try to talk to Yemen if he's just passing by. You know, she's not going to pull him for a chat. Just if he's passing by, then she'll have a conversation. Because, you know, it's Love Island. So it is what it is. Now it is what it is. Okay. Anyways, not only does Leanne then go and pull him for a chat, she takes him to the secret garden.
Yeah, man, do you want to go for a chat?
Did she say secret garden? This is probably quite snaky, but at the same time...
It's Love Island.
It's Love Island.
I respect where you're coming from.
Yeah.
You know, Whitney and I mean, things are incredible.
I would never think to go for, like, Millie's thing.
No.
Like, it wouldn't cross my mind.
You know what, Yemen? You might be all right with me. Yemen, you might be all right with me, because this man is like, listen, I got a good thing going. I'm not trying to jeopardize that, period. I know that's right. Yeah. And my main thing with Yemen was he going to be able to back up this girl because of the strong personality that she has? The man himself said, I'm kind of conflict averse. I don't really like, you know, being too understanding, trying to figure out people. I'm just, cut clean off. I'm out of here. So the fact that he's, you know, really backing Whitney, not in this moment because there's nothing to back, but in general, he just takes her for who she is and has embraced everything about her. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. You know what? Hell yeah. Whitney is now looking at the situation, wondering why Leanne would push up on her man, because she's like, yeah, I do expect you to explore. This is Love Island, but if it were me, I wouldn't then go for Millie's man or even your man. Like, I just wouldn't do that. That one is a tough one because options are limited. Options are limited. And truthfully speaking, who else would Leanne be attracted to? There was a time when maybe Kieran was an option, right? But at this point, it's only Yemen. He's the newest person, and I think the only person who she would even be interested in at this point. So yeah, it does hurt to see, but if you gave her the green light, then you gave her the green light, child. But the interesting thing about this is there's this whole discourse of whether or not Scott was being disrespectful in his pursuit of Cher. I personally don't think he has been. And this doesn't help the situation because honestly, it looks like Leanne has been more disrespectful, if we're going to use that word, towards Scott than Scott has been to her, right? I mean, I do understand too, there are things that led to this point where she's trying to do the whole tit for tat thing. So I guess you could say his behavior then fueled her behavior. But at the end of the day, he never pulled Cher to the secret garden. He never did things spitefully. Leanne is doing these things out of spite. So, I don't know. If we're trying to be on even playing field, I think at this point, they are. If Leanne still wants Scott, honestly, why? Oh, now she's laughing at the right points. I don't even know why she would want Scott at this point. I don't think Scott wants it either. I think their connection is officially dead. At least I hope so, because I'm done. Oh, I forgot to say, in that conversation with Yemen is asking her what her type is and whatever. And at first I was like, is he asking for himself? But it then seemed like he was asking so that he could just keep a lookout for her. Like, oh, that's what you like? Okay, noted. Maybe I'll see if somebody fits the bill so that I can match all together. I was like, damn. Rough day for Leanne, truly it is. And it must suck being in there. You don't have a connection. Everybody's like loved up at this point. It sucks. And I don't see them sending in a bombshell at this point that Leanne is going to be intrigued by, especially if she's still hung up on Scott. So I feel for Leanne, I do. But like I've been saying the past few episodes, there's a lot of introspection that's missing on Leanne's part for me. And that's what makes it hard to fully back her sometimes. But moving on to the movie night, the first one is Free Millie. It's Millie saying that she's obsessed with Zach. She said that something was missing with Curtis. And then it was a montage of Curtis basically being a freaking corn on Millie's foot.
You know, when you're not over someone, let me try and get with someone.
Whitney needs to hold her mouth sometimes.
Why have you got more energy for me than Millie?
Don't start saying stuff to rebound.
Yeah, I don't think she was really trying to attack you.
Fair enough. At least I heard it.
I'm here wondering why Curtis is triggered by what Whitney said, because Whitney was asked by Millie about the whole situation. And she said, yeah, it kind of reminds me of a rebound where you're hung up on somebody and to try to get over them, you hook up with somebody else, which literally is what Curtis was doing. The man said, as I was kissing Kira, Millie was on my mind. Does that not give rebound? He has a lot more energy for Whitney than he does anybody else. And I'm like, Curtis, no, I don't know what image of Millie Curtis has in his mind, but this girl can do no wrong. Not that she even said anything that's worth going after, but the fact that he has more smoke for Whitney than he does for Millie is like, oh, this girl is just infallible in your mind. Like, he has really pedestalized her in a very scary way. And yeah, Kira also, I don't know. I would feel a way about what I saw regarding Curtis, because yeah, you talking about, oh, I don't want to be second place. I want to be second place, but okay. Next title is How to Lose Leanne in 10 Days. It was Scott saying that it wasn't early days anymore, which way back then, I did agree he should not have said that. Should not have said that, because your movements afterwards did not prove that that's how you felt. Then he says the whole, oh, I'm not ready to go home thing. And then they show Cher snogging him in Villa USA. And then him saying that he would only close things off if he realized that his connection with Leanne was at the point where it could not be beat.
You're a grown man, you should know what you're doing.
I can't lie, nothing there. Like,
you make these big statements and then you're like, oh yeah, but we're open.
yeah, but you can...
Belle, thanks for having my back, sis. Not spoken to me. You're literally getting to know someone else in front of me. I'm here as well. This is my experience too. If you're getting to know someone, I'm gonna do the same. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, like I said, he's done a lot of missteps. The onus is on both of them. Been saying that. Onus is on both of them. It's on both of them. It's on both of them. Everything that he was saying in the clips, I feel he's already cleared up. So for her to be irritated by what she's seeing, I'm like, I mean, he explained the go home thing and whatnot. Like, and every time he says, I think that we're open, I think we're allowed to explore, this is Love Island, for the most part, she does agree. In the last few episodes, she hasn't been, because she doesn't want to be in this whole triangle thing. But when he would say he's open, she would agree. When he would say, I wouldn't want to go home at this point, she agreed. So if she's lying in those moments, unfortunately, that's not up for him to pick apart and stuff. If she said it, I understand why he would take her words at face value and be like, bet, we're on the same page. Next time, be true to your feelings. And I know that it's hard. I know that it's hard. I'm aware that it's hard. But you can't fault somebody for taking what you said as bond if what you said is not really what you meant. Next is Some Like It Scott. It was Sean cussing out Scott behind his back. Everybody's laughing, even Sean. And I'm like, oh, but I thought you said it was a bully situation. Anyways, Sean is like, see, that's why I had my blow up. You see how he treats me?
I can sort of see the little comments, which maybe I didn't realise at the time. Full on fucking rant by the mini fire pit. That's fucking crazy. Say it to me. Why are you saying it to Tommy? Why are you saying it behind my back there? Say it to me. I'm not making a comment behind his back.
You're sitting there basically slagging me off, saying he's no good for you, basically.
You do keep calling him a fucking prick after making a joke saying it's not him.
Like I said back then, I think being on the receiving end is hurtful. Being on the receiving end of somebody making digs at you to what you believe is constant is hurtful. Yeah, I can understand why Sean felt the way that he felt in that moment. I think that calling Scott a bully was a reach. I think that him using this to justify his blowout is also a reach. And then I'm like, because Sean says, you told me there was nothing else to say, but here you are slacking me off to Lucinda. I'm here like, the man has told you time and time again why he doesn't respect you as a man, as a person. The implication would be that he does not think that you are a good person for Lucinda, let alone anybody else. Was that something he really had to tell you to your face? And then if he did say that to your face, wouldn't you then say, see, he's a bully? So, Sean, please. Next was Legally Belle. Essentially, it's just Belle and Carrington cracking on in Villa USA, which proves what I was trying to say regarding the Belle situation. I'm like, truthfully, you were doing the same stuff as Sean. It's just that Sean was connecting with somebody who was already there before. So it does seem like there was underlying feelings there that he just didn't admit to. But in terms of the actual behavior, it was the same, in my opinion. All of a sudden, Helena feels away, and I'm like, oh, Where's this coming from?
I've always thought he was just boring as fuck. Me and him have never even had that kind of flirty conversation. Just not interested in me, clearly.
I did. I was flirting quite a bit. Does show. Belle was keeping your best interest in mind. But,
Why is he stuck?
yeah, I think, again, it's a green flag. That's all I've got to say.
You are green flag, my queen.
I'm just glad you can see how respectful I was.
So.
What do you mean so-so? What's so-so about my respect values?
Carrington, you do know that you're coupled up with Helena, right? I'm just here like, way to rub salt in the wound. Like, what's the point of this? I'm glad he's trying to come to Belle's defense, but in turn, he's potentially hurting Helena's feelings because this was so unnecessary. Like, you stand up, she's a green flag, look at her, she's a, hey, okay. All right. Here is Sean trying to act hurt by what he's seeing. And this is very reminiscent of his own season because he did this to Matilda. He was doing his foolishness in Casa Amor. And because Matilda entertained conversations, she never did anything shiesty. She entertained conversations. He was like, see, you're just as bad as I am. No, don't try to pull me down with you. Accept accountability for your own stuff. He does this. I'm telling you, like, Sean's whole MO is there for us to consume. Clear as day. How he ends up duping people is beyond me. Even Lucinda, how she ends up duping people is beyond me. Next is Jumpin' Jack Flash. I didn't really get what that meant, but it's Jack getting so much play in Villa USA, and it's shocking the Islanders as much as it shocked us.
It was the first day. I was still getting to know every single person. Let's get something straight. Let's get something straight for the first time.
Leave it.
He was kissing around America.
Stop trying to impress the guy, seriously.
I'll leave it. No worries.
Imani kept begging Jack to stop talking, and I'm like, well, that's not fair. If everybody's allowed to talk, let the man talk. But then as he was speaking, I'm like, well, you're making it worse. You're making it worse. You should have taken Imani's advice, actually. Yeah, you should have listened to what she was saying. Either way, Imani is like, yeah, I was hurt in that moment, but whatever, we move on. I'm thinking, did she really like the man for real? Maybe she did. Oof. Let me stop projecting. Maybe she did like the man. Then we see Cher is like pulling faces and stuff, and I'm thinking if Cher needed any more reasons to be off Jack, this is a great excuse for her. I don't think that she was really into Jack like that, so this is a golden opportunity to leave him for good if she wants to. Then the next one is the Sean identity. It's basically Sean saying that he was ready to twist from Belle because he wasn't sure what she was doing in Villa USA. And like Bella's about to call it out, it's giving very insecure.
Felt insecure, you moved on straight away.
Oh.
Do you know what it is?
Okay, shout me again.
I've seen it before, and it won't be the last time I see this with an insecure man. You felt insecure, you thought I'd moved on, so you jumped ship straight away.
Come for me personally then, like...
That speaks more of you than it ever will of me, and I'm good with that.
Don't
speak. Lucinda, babe, on a level you deserve better.
And you're really telling me that?
You deserve more.
I do think that Belle is correct to call him out because you're telling me if you are talking to somebody, relating with somebody, in a full-blown relationship with somebody, because you have a fear that they're doing whatever where they are, you're just gonna go do a madness? Like, how does that make sense? That does prove that you are insecure. It does. But then again, like I said before regarding Belle, it's hard for me to empathize fully because you knew this man had already screwed you over. You literally said that in a recoupling speech, and now you are shocked that he screwed you over. So that part don't really make sense to me, but let's move on. In this moment, I was realizing, Sean, it's interesting how you windmill for Lucinda when Lucinda doesn't come to your defense as it pertains to your relationship. There were times where she would say something, oh, Sean maybe felt justified because A, B, C, and D, Sean, but when it comes to their relationship, she don't be saying nothing. So I'm like, cool, you can come to my defense to defend my character, but do you not have faith in this relationship? Like, are people right to say that you were just using me? That would be my question if I was Sean. The next one is there's something about Sammy. It's basically Sammy and Lucinda's beef rehashed. Don't really care, but it is important because a whole bunch of falling out happens because of this.
Yeah, exactly, Sammy.
Who the fuck are you saying exactly to? Over what?
You weren't there for me, Sean.
Sorry. And I was actually trying to warn you. There's me trying to have your fucking back. Don't say exactly, Sammy. You don't even know what you're fucking talking about.
Sammy, baby, you fell for the bait again. You fell for the bait again. I wish I was in that villa. I know I'm married, but like, put me in there. Neither am I the demographic for Love Island. Let's start there. They are not looking for me, child. But like, I just need to grab her by the ear and say, stop it. Stop falling for it. Ugh. But anyways, you could see how Lucinda realized she didn't have a leg to stand on anymore. So instead of talking about the subject matter, she's like, you're so rude. Why would you say that? I would never say that to another girl. She's now trying to make it seem like, okay, I'm obviously in the wrong here, or I misinterpreted some things. So let me try to make myself the victim again. And I'm like, wow, very, very tactical from you, Lucinda. This girl is good. I don't respect it, but she good. Next is Tommy Dearest. It's him defending Sean, but then being upset with Sean for cracking on with his bird. I'll be so honest, I was pretty much checked out after this because the girls started chiming in, and this is where all the chaos happened.
I don't buy it.
I know.
Right,
I can't be honest with you, I'm not.
The person that got the most reassurance from all the boys in that villa was you about Tommy. You were, Tommy, what's Tommy saying?
When everyone left, me and her actually cracked on.
Sammy, no offence, there's nothing to do with you. I'm talking
I ain't
about
said
Helena.
anything when you
But every time I speak, all you do is chat shit about me.
Stop talking.
Okay. Sorry. I've left the chat.
Bro, do you know what? You're perfect. You said I've left the chat and it's funny. It's not funny, we're. I might need 5 minutes. I actually might need 5 minutes.
Helena in this moment was my MVP. I never thought those words would ever come out of my mouth, but they just did. Helena was my MVP in this moment. It's a dark day. I really can't believe I just said that. But she was, yeah. And then, see, I shouldn't laugh because the laughing is what caused this problem. Lucinda's like, you know what? I've removed myself from the chat. Girl, me too. Girl, me too. And that's honestly when I stopped listening because I'm like, it's just people just going at each other. It's too much. It is too much. I removed myself from the chat too. I rejoined the chat though when I saw that Leanne and Whitney were going at each other, and I was like, oh, well, this is interesting.
They shouldn't get under their skin like this. No, but it's not even about you lot egging it on. In the beginning,
I was not fueling them. I wasn't.
No,
I've not said anything.
Initially, you wasn't.
Babe, I said, what's the point? You can ask Sammy.
Okay, cool. And Scott brought a lot of shit to you. You had shit to say.
He's trying to start on me, and I've done nothing.
I know.
Whitney, no.
So, okay, yeah, let's get into it. I think that Whitney went low in this thing because bringing in Scott, I don't know if I included the clip, hopefully I did. Bringing in Scott wasn't fair because this has nothing to do with Scott. Let's not do that, right? I also think that Whitney saying, oh, I don't like people doing their ad-libs and stuff is rich because she also gives ad-libs, as everybody does during these movie night moments, right? And on top of that too, the whole thing that was happening with Lucinda was getting escalated because Lucinda is essentially poking the bear, right? You laughing alongside something that I too believe was funny is not helping the situation. It's not diffusing the situation. Leanne was also ad-libbing. It's true, right? But she more so was trying to get Sammy to like tone down a little bit because things were getting way more heated than they needed to, right? The problem with both these women is they believe that they are trying to diffuse the matter, when in fact, it's not necessarily helping. So I understand what Whitney was trying to say, but she should have seen in this moment that her own actions are not helping to bring down the energy in the room, right? Leanne also is coming to Sammy's defense, but you could see how that would agitate Lucinda. So then Lucinda is gonna feel, charged up to want to come back even more. Like, it's just not cooling anything down at all. And then I'm thinking, is this really about what's happening in this moment? Or is there a brewing tension here? Because I'm thinking back to when Whitney had her situation with Shaq and how it seemed like Leanne didn't come to her defense. It seemed like, based on what production decided to show us, right? So I'm thinking from there, I started to see maybe there was a rift between them, and it looked like Whitney was closer to Belle and Leanne is closer to maybe like a Millie or Belle too, right? And maybe Belle is the one that brings them together. I don't know. It's interesting. And the whole Yemen thing doesn't help the matter, but you can sense there's a tension between the girls. Maybe it had to do with this argument right now, but it probably had to do with more of what's going on throughout the villa. And I'm like, oof, it's not a good look. Because, you know, we can only have, this isn't true, but this is how the audience acts. We can only have like one black girl to root for at a time. That's how the audience acts. And I understand too, because typically it is the minorities who vote for the minorities. We know that. So then when one minority is in trouble, it's like we all have to rally behind that person. And I wish both girls could be protected in this moment, but I do think people are going to take sides. Regarding Leanne and Whitney actually going at each other, I think that they're both right and both wrong. I do. It's very complicated. The last title was Lucinda's Web. At this point, my brain was fried. Honestly, it's just irrelevant. It's Lucinda flip-flopping and being so full-on with Scott. The Belle started screaming at her and everybody screaming at each other. Thank God Maya came in because I had had enough. I'm ready for people to go home. Like, we're done. And if I'm to pick who's to go home, it has to be Belle. I was going to say Leanne only because it seems like her and Scott are done and I don't see her going for anybody else, but I would like to see a conclusion with that whole situation. So maybe hold off on her. Jack could go. So Belle, Jack, Tommy. Those are all the people that I can think about right now. If they all went, I would feel no way about it. So as always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.